All right, Tony, thank you. Next time you go to Block Island, you'll see a notable gap of where the Harborside Inn once stood. The building is now demolished, but that does not mean the investigation into what sparked the flames is done. State fire marshal officials are waiting to see if the surveillance video can be recovered to determine the cause. 12 News reporter Sheena Lasciuto spoke with the fire marshal today. And Sheena, now we've been covering this for more than a month now. Block Island regulars really want to know what happened at this point.
Mike, one thing that officials can say for sure right now is the cause of this fire was an accident. They're hoping to get that video so they can get one step closer into figuring out what happened here. Surveillance video capturing the kitchen at the Harborside Inn could fill in the blanks for investigators as to how this devastating fire first broke out.
So we used a company that is used by ATF for retrieving digital data and things like that. So we did get word yesterday that it does appear they might be able to get some information off of that hard drive. So we're in the process of working through that.
According to the report made by the Office of the State Fire Marshal, the hotel's camera system was damaged by salt water. Officials are hopeful salvageable footage could reveal whether or not someone cooked in the kitchen after it was locked up for the night. These are the two potential causes the fire marshal says they're zeroed in on.
Grease-laden vapors or something left on the stove. We're going to continue with that investigation, but those are the only two options at this point. It is accidental.
The report also states that a buildup of grease likely caused the flames to spread quickly. McLaughlin stresses investigators have spent a considerable amount of time on the case. The fire broke out on a Friday night, August 18th, a busy time for Block Island. More than a month later, state investigators say they're grateful the flames did not spread to other buildings and everyone made it out safely.
The system worked. The mutual aid system worked. That could have been a tragic fire over there, and because the system worked, the place was compliant.
Now, the state says they had not inspected the Harborside Inn since they took over those responsibilities back in 2019. But as you just heard the state fire marshals say, they say it was up to code. I'm Sheena Lasciuto, 12 News.
Joe, thank you. Officials have zeroed in on one location and two possible causes for the fire that destroyed the historic Harborside Inn on Block Island. New tonight, we're asking questions about the inspection process on the island and why the state says they didn't have an inspection record on file for the hotel. 12 News reporter Sheena Lasciuto has the latest on the investigation directly from the state's fire marshal.
The fire broke out on the night of August 18th. Since then, a major investigation has been underway, and now officials are really trying to pinpoint what exactly happened. Cell phone video from the night of the fire shows just how intense the flames were. State fire investigators believe the fire destroying the Harborside Inn started in the kitchen, but the exact details remain unclear.
Grease-laden vapors or something left on the stove. We're going to continue with that investigation, but those are the only two options at this point. It is accidental.
During a press briefing, the state fire marshal explains the historic inn had not been inspected since the state took over the responsibility in 2019. The town of New Shoreham had their own fire marshal before that.
This particular place we missed we had so much going on. We had two teams over there. One team thought the other team got it, and it didn't, but it was compliant.
Despite no inspection, officials say the hotel was up to code. During the investigation process, though, officials found the fire suppression system in the kitchen didn't activate during the fire, later identifying that an inspector who worked for a private company and for now has his license revoked reportedly told investigators he wrongfully tagged the system so it appeared to be in good order.
The suppression system had an up-to-date tag on it. So we would have went in, if we would have done the inspection, we would have saw the tag and said it's okay. We don't get into the intricacies of how it goes together.
And would having a working suppression system change the outcome? Investigators say it's hard to say without knowing the exact cause.
If it was on the stovetop, there's a possibility it definitely would have went off. But if it gotten into the walls, into the void spaces, probably not. But is there liability? I would venture to say that's going to be between his company and the insurance companies.
And now the investigation into finding out that exact cause continues. Officials are really hoping to recover old surveillance video that could fill in the blanks. I'm Sheena Lasciuto, 12 News.